You know, they got a comedy video out in America called So Long Saddam, and that's not funny.
Not funny, not funny, not funny!
And that's not all. They're telling a lot of rotten jokes, like Saddam's so dumb he thinks the Kuwaiti border pays rent.
Not funny, not funny, not funny!
And do you know why all the 7-Elevens in America are in trouble? Saddam called up the reserves. I mean, that's really
not funny, not funny, not funny!
And what do you call a man who disagrees with Saddam? Dead. Actually, I like that one. It's a good point.
Not funny, not funny, not funny!
And how about Saddam bought 1,000 septic tanks? If he can teach the Iraqis to drive them, he's going to invade Poland.
Not funny, not funny, not funny!
And how do you know Saddam's been at your house? Because the garbage has been eaten and your goat is pregnant.
Not funny, not funny, not funny!
And have you heard about the Saddam condom? It's for that won't pull out.
Live from Baghdad, it's So Long Saddam!
So Long Saddam, a farewell tribute to the man everyone loves to hate, Saddam Hussein, with special guest appearances by President George Bush, General Colin Powell, General Norman Schwarzkopf, and special guest villains Muammar Gaddafi, Joseph Stalin, and Adolf Hitler. Brought to you by the United Nations. The United Nations, makers of the New World Order.
The face you're about to see is no doubt familiar. No, that's not what I mean, but you're close. In this program, we're going behind the scenes to get the inside scoop. The story of a man who started out as a pathetic nobody and rose to become the biggest creep on God's green earth. From scapely goat herder to hurtful scapegoat. From habitual to master dictator. From wacky lackey to yaki Iraqi and khaki. This is the story of Saddam Hussein, better known to friends and acquaintances as Saddam Hussein. Hello, this is Walter Crankoff speaking, coming to you from our studios here in the Great Satan. And I'm pleased as the dickens to be bringing you the final appearance of the man we like to call Little Hitler. But even though Saddam Hussein is the next best thing to the Führer, our research team has discovered he actually had closer ties with that lovable pre-glasnost dictator, Joseph Stalin. Records indicate Hussein was the bastard child of Stalin. Imagine his horror when he realized he had conceived a creature even uglier than he was. Even at the early age, Saddam was obnoxious and aggressive. He was known around the maternity ward as Schnot-Shuckin' Saddam. Saddam was taught how to fight dirty. Unfortunately, the dirtiest thing in the ring was Saddam's diapers. By the time he had reached adolescence, Saddam was beginning to show signs of complete uselessness. Because of his inherent stupidity, he found it impossible to keep a job. He broke into the business as a glass tester, then a wood tester, and finally as a trousers tester. But he resented starting at the bottom and found work in general to be a pain in the Hussein. He called upon his old man for help. His father got him a job playing accordion at government bar mitzvahs, but he had to quit because he continually caught his privates in the squeeze box.
How? How?
Looking for something less dangerous, he had learned how to drive a taxi cab and had no trouble maneuvering his vehicle. Remembering where the brakes were posed a different problem. When even that failed, Saddam began to wonder if he'd ever be able to make a living. By the time Saddam had reached the age of consent, his old man Stalin considered to have him shipped out of the country. The Soviets were experimenting with a new model of airplane and they wanted Saddam to be the test pilot. Stalin couldn't have cared less where the plane ended up. He just wanted that loser of a son out of his hair. Eventually, Saddam realized that he was too much of a loser ever to make a legitimate living. The only thing left for him to do was to head south and take over his own country. He decided on taking control of Iraq, a small nation just south of the Soviet Union. Saddam liked the name Iraq because it sounded like Iraq. and that was certainly something Saddam knew how to do. In short order, Saddam and a couple of his henchmen seized control of Baghdad, the capital city, through clever strategy.
Who goes there?
Santa Claus?
Oh, there ain't no Santa Claus.
Oh, yes, there is, and I've got a present for you.
Right where? Oh.
Come on, let's go rob someone.
Saddam used terrorism to strike fear into the hearts of his adversaries.
Hello there, Royal Flamball. I am here to tell you to give me that diamond you wear on your head. Right now. Give it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ah. Yeah, that should come in handy to start the treasury. Now get the hell in that pond and wash your hair, imperialist scumbag. Hurry up, do it. Uh-oh, here comes somebody. Come on, dumb shit, let's get out fast.
Saddam, on the right, began working closely with Abu Hassan, which translates literally into Big Fat Ass with a Beard. The Big Fat Ass helped form Saddam's elite Republican Guard, seen here. Saddam himself personally instructed the elite Republican Guard in surefire tactics of hand-to-hand combat.
Get out. Let him alone. Oh, man. Oh.
But as the Treasury ran out of money, Saddam found that his elite Republican Guard had run out of patience.
Guards, will you give me 5 for this?
No, but I'll give you 2.
I'll take it. Oh! Hey!
Saddam realized that if he was to remain in control, he couldn't rely on manpower alone. So he went all out to create a super powerful air force. At first, the results were less than successful. Then, in a stroke of sheer genius, Saddam decided the secret to a successful air force meant replacing the cars with flying machines. His first prototype was a 2-blade helicopter called the Spirit of Hussein.
Okay, see, the problem here is that we need a bigger engine. Bigger engine.
Then he tried a machine called the Saddam Jerk Up and Downer.
We need a balloon to get us off the ground. Balloon to get us off the ground.
His next project was the Tariq Aziz helicopter.
What we need, I think, are wings to get us up there. Not on the ground. Wings.
Unfortunately, the Baghdad balsa wood fared no better.
What we need in this thing is a pilot to fly it up there while we watch from down here. Pilot.
Saddam enlisted his brother-in-law to try out the winged martyr.
Oh, how can I be so... We need a motor. That's what we need to keep it flying. Don't you think? Motor.
This model had everything except a place for the pilot to sit. The designer was severely punished.
All we need is a cockpit and we're all set. A cockpit. Ha. Am I right? Cockpit.
Saddam finally achieved air superiority with a model that could stay in the air for more than 30 seconds. He was exuberant with pride and held a public demonstration of his new flying machine, flown by the top pilot and co-pilot in Iraq. his Air Force firmly in place by the late 1970s, Saddam was a force to be reckoned with. He began making alliances with other terrorist leaders in the Middle East, including Muammar Gaddafi.
Saddam Hussein is the most important Persian Gulf leader. Even with the cheesy mustache, he is stylish in his own way. But remember, in my own way, I'm also stylish. Like Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra.
The entertainer. I resemble him. I wear my coat over my shoulder like he does, and I can even sing New York, New York. New York, New York. You familiar with that song? If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere. It's up to you. New York, New York, New York, New York, New York. And Saddam has much of this similar appeal, I think. You get me?
Saddam was widely admired at home as well. It was either admire him or die for him.
Haha, so, boys, what do you think? Do I look like Tom Selleck with the mustache? Hey, you, do I look like him?
Yeah, Tom Selleck, Tom Selleck.
You, what do you think? Do I look like him or not?
Oh, boy.
Okay, everybody, now get together on the count of 3. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Who is the president that we all love? A Tom Selleck, a Tom Selleck, a Tom Selleck. A good-looking guy sent from up above. A Tom Selleck, a Tom Selleck, a Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I like that. Now get me the hell out of here.
But even with all that mass adulation, Saddam's best friend was man's best friend, his faithful German shepherd, Adolf Hitler.
Ja, und de schwakkende stappen. Go! Is een trouwende schwakkende indroen schwatte. Achtende schwerbakken droden schwatte. Achtende schwil is dronken is stappen. Go doen kaf. Is dein strabisch dein Persian Gulf. Ja?
It became clear that Saddam's self-obsession was boundless. His preoccupation with his hair was such that he could actually begin washing it, sometimes more than 2 or 3 times a year, which was more than could be said for his friends. But when he did finally get his hair cleaned out, there was nowhere for the sludge to go but directly into the sea. But Saddam wasn't the only local tyrant obsessed with his appearance.
Are we on? Go! Now? Go! Saddam Hussein, of course, he's a handsome enough man, but we must remember that I am a handsome man too, and that I look very good when I wash my own hair, which I do, you know, once in a blue moon. And the important thing is that when my hair is clean, I look like Elvis Presley. Elvis, you know. He did that song, you ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. And you ain't never caught a rabbit, and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. And you ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit, and you ain't no friend of mine.
Soon all the Middle Eastern dictators were fiercely competing with each other, not just for weapons or military, but for hair and skin products. Saddam even met with famed hairdresser Mr. Husband Schwishin to discuss what could be done to improve his appearance.
Oh, you say that I have greasy hair? Why, you dirty little bald-headed fart.
No, Mr. Selleck, you must have heard me wrong. All I said was that you had an oily scalp.
Now you say I need a hearing aid. How'd you like to have both of your ears cut off?
Oh, no, not that, please.
Maybe better yet, I'll just cut off your
Not my anything but my please.
Military intelligence elsewhere closely monitored the grooming habits of the dictators.
You know, and he's got his fly unzipped, and he may be, you know, sticking his finger in his ear.